Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, welcome to episode 65 of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney Perry. I still have some allergies going on, so again, I apologize for the nasal sounding voice. But at any rate, hello. I have gone round and round about the things that I wanted to discuss today, and I was all over the map. I've been jumping around and I still don't really know what the heck to talk about, because every time I have a lot of things to talk about and I think that I have something set in my mind, I end up having so much on my mind that I'm scatterbrained and I have a hard time picking one thing, and then I'm all over the place and it's not very it doesn't flow very well. But and so I've done it again. I start the podcast without really having a direction. That's why I need a counterpart. That's why I really need to get a counterpart. But I'm telling you, there's so many things that I need to do and want to do, and I've just been in this horrendous rut of, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And I am realizing that I think I'm still severely depressed. I keep thinking that I'm kind of over it, and I'm over the hump, and I'm no longer depressed, and I'm moving on, and I'm waking up, and the fog is lifting. And then I think I'm not, though, because every day I do the same thing over and over again. And I used to be the most tenacious person. If I said I was going to do it, I did it. Well, like I said, I didn't say anything. I would just do it in my own head. I would think it in my head. I would not say it out loud. I would just think of something I wanted to do, and I would wake up the next day and start doing it. If I put thought behind it, I wouldn't do it. But now I'm not having those thoughts, keeping them to myself, and then waking up the next day and doing it. I am getting sidetracked by no sleep. So I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted by working. I'm exhausted by, son and my grandbaby and my grandbabies. And so, then that leaves 2 days to do stuff. Well, out of those 2 days, then one of those days I use to do all of my errands and do all the cleaning and the errands and all that, which leaves me kind of one day to either work on the property or work on, the stuff that I feel like working on. And then I just never know what the heck I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I think that my neighbors are coming up right now, which is kind of hilarious because not doing anything that bad. I love my neighbors. That was one of my neighbors I know and like really well. They like to do the same thing that I do, just kind of sit off on a country road and go for a little country drive and clear the soul. So anyway, I'm just not following through because I'm so exhausted mentally, and I'm still have such trauma and PTSD over my mom dying and how she died and everything surrounding it. I'm just struggling. I keep thinking that I'm doing better, and I'm not. And I've been worried about my youngest son and the path that he is choosing, although he is now starting to also kind of wake up a little bit out of his fog. He's starting to make it over the hill. He's starting to, climb over the top and reach the other side. And he's starting to make a lot of progress and really delving into making it on his own and doing things on his own. But my fiance and I are doing really well. We have been doing amazing. But that doesn't mean that there aren't still struggles and things to get used to. And um, I'm really ticked because the house that we built, um, the contractor, the people that he hired were just crap. It's like they were all drunk toddlers that built my house. And so there are so many things that are wrong with my brand new house. It makes me irate. It's not even 2 years old yet. It's almost 2 years old. And there are a million things that were just built really shoddy and really crappy. And it's stressing me out because it's a new house and I have to replace a lot of stuff. And so between the house and just trying to maintain the property and trying to get used to having my fiance home and he and I going through his trauma and his PTSD over going to prison for something he did not do and how much that has affected our lives with the pretrial. I mean, it is, when all is said and done from start to finish, it will have consumed 13 years of our lives. That is including pretrial. That is including um, prison. That is including probation. 13 years of his and my life and our family's life that has been consumed by something that he did not even do. So, of course, the repercussions of that are huge. And we are doing really well. But of course, there's a lot of PTSD, a lot of trauma, a lot of depression, a lot of adjustment to get used to that. And the same with how my mom died, and the circumstances around that has taken a lot of adjustment and a lot has caused me a lot of PTSD and things that were going on with both of my sons. And when my boss had gotten into her wreck and when my coworker and I had to take over the shop and had to run everything, um, it's really hard because, of course, um, it's an adjustment. I'm working extra hours and we're working long hours. And I'm going through my mom dying and I'm going through all the shock of how she died and what surrounded her. And I'm going through my fiance coming back and all of his trauma and us getting used to living together. And I'm adjusting to going up and having to visit my grandson and son and still taking care of the property, and I'm not sleeping. And so it's just a lot of stuff that has been on my plate. And I thought that I was kind of waking up and clearing the fog. And I'm realizing that I'm just tired still. I had an amazing counselor and she ended up moving to, God, people keep calling. And so I might have to cut this short because people keep calling. And now I think it's messed up my podcast. And so but anyways, I'm going through the trauma of my counselor now not being here either. And I have weird abandonment issues and now I can't talk to her. So I don't have a counselor while I'm still kind of adjusting to everything. And so it's been quite a period. And I thought that I was getting over it until I realized that I just keep saying things like, I'll do it next week or I'll do it tomorrow. And that has never been something that I say. I don't ever put off anything. I'm not one of those people. I don't go, oh, I'll wait till tomorrow. I just do it. And that's all I seem to do now is just go, oh, I stopped doing things that make me happy. I stopped going to the barn. I stopped riding horses. I stopped taking pictures. Photography and horses and nature are the things that make me so happy. The things that just feed my soul. They feed my soul. And I stopped doing things that feed my soul. Of course, my children feed my soul and my grandson feeds my soul. And I think they're amazing. And my fiance feeds my soul. My family feeds my soul. But we all have to have something outside of family, right? We all have to have something else outside of family. And I stopped doing those things. And my counselor used to always tell me to take a day, just one day for you. And if other things happen, if there's other things that come up, it doesn't mean that you take all of those on and you get rid of the things that you need to do for you. It means no, you take less things on. It doesn't mean you now take away all the things that are for you and add on things that benefit others. And I have a habit of only wanting to do things that benefit others. So anybody out there listening, know that you can't, it's like putting on your mask before anybody else. You can't help anybody else until you are healthy and strong. And if you're healthy and strong, then you can help others. It's the same for anything. You just need to feed your soul and do things and take time out, even if it's a half an hour, whether it's a half an hour, whether it's 3 hours, whether it's a day, a week. You've got to take that time. Because if you don't, you are going to fall apart. You're going to be exhausted. Nobody can go and go and go and not do anything that feeds their soul and makes them happy. You've got to do things that make you happy. Oh my gosh, my phone keeps ringing. So clearly I'm not meant to do a podcast. So this will just be a real quickie, a super quickie. I think the quickest podcast I've ever done, full of lots of holes and times that people have called, and every pause that you hear, it probably will make no sense. So I might have to redo this over. But I just wanted to remind everybody to do something that makes you happy and leave you with this quote. Happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it. So happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it. And you can't share happiness if you're miserable. You're only going to share misery. You can't share happiness if you're depressed. You can't share happiness if you're angry and tired. So you've got to do things that'll make you happy so that you can spread that happiness and spread that joy. Anyway, this is a very quick podcast. This is something you can listen to at lunch. But I just wanted to remind people, because I'm noticing that I'm falling into this funk. Well, not falling into it. Like I said, I thought that I was out of it. I thought that I was kind of going over the edge. And I want to remind everybody to pay attention to yourself, pay attention to your cues, pay attention to your body and what your body is telling you, and listen to it. If your body is tired, unless of course you're in a race, keep pushing on. But mentally, if your body is tired mentally, sometimes you just really need to take that moment for yourself, and you really need to take that time for yourself and pay attention and listen to your body so that you can be there for others and you can be the best version of yourself. I know this is a duh. Everybody knows this. This is something people have been saying forever. This isn't wise knowledge that I'm just saying. It's just something else that I'm experiencing, that I'm noticing, that I have to pay attention to. So I'm going to do another podcast tonight. This again is just kind of a little quickie to say hello and remind everybody to take care of themselves, and wishing you just the best day ever. Thanks again for listening to episode 65 of the Ramblings of an Insomniac.